Well, Bill, the big star we do hear about, Kirill Kaprizov. Am I saying that right? Kirill the Thrill?
Yeah, that's what everybody knows him as now.
Kaprizov from Minnesota. He scores.
Coming in, I wanted to try to manage the expectations of him as best I could, just because, you know, our fan base has waited so long for this guy. And when he came in, he scored the overtime winner in his first game. I said, well, there goes that. The expectations are through the roof.
Well, you played under a lot of GMs over your career, but of course it all began with Lou Lamoriello in New Jersey. Tell me about Lou Lamoriello, the GM.
Yeah, well, accountability was there, for sure. He kept me on the straight and narrow. Like Lou always says, we don't have a lot of rules, but the rules we have, we follow.
Were there times, though, as a young guy, you were like, really? I'm not allowed to have a mustache? Did you ever kind of rebel against those things at the time?
I'll tell you what, after playing on so many other different teams, you know, sometimes that's what's missing, and that's what's preventing a team from being successful, is that discipline and that accountability. It was what I knew, it's what we did, and we had success.
You had so much success with the Pittsburgh Penguins later part of your career. You were kind of the elder statesman. What was it like to be teammates with guys like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, Chris Letang, who were, you know, just sort of starting out their careers?
It was unbelievable. I was by far the older statesman there, and they really just kind of rejuvenated me. They were just getting going, so like Sid wouldn't let me kind of coast through practice. He would push me. You know, Gino would bust my chops if I didn't move my feet, you know, all that stuff. And Jordan Staal and Marc-Andre Fleury, they were just great teammates. And I'm not surprised to see all of them having the great success that they're having.
Your latter years with the Pittsburgh Penguins, you played under both Ray Shero and Jim Rutherford. What did you learn from either of them?
They were pretty different. You know, with Ray was, you know, extremely organized with meetings and the organization of the scouting staffs and the development staff. And Jim was like more organic in how he operated and made moves and things like that. But Jim taught me some great lessons, and one was to always try to make a fair deal. Never try to win a trade, you know, with another GM, because if you do that too many times, A, you might not ever make the trade because you're too busy trying to win it, and B, you won't have as many trade partners. Both great guys to have learned under, and I owe a lot to those two.
How was it for you when it came time for retirement? Like, you know, did you have to go kicking and screaming, or do you just know there's a time where, yep, it's time to move on?
For me, it was time. I wasn't going back to Pittsburgh. I went to training camp in Philly and didn't make it. So right then and there, I didn't have it in my heart to just hang on. I knew it was time for me to walk away, and not an easy adjustment at all.
What was the hardest part?
Coming to grips with the fact that you'll never score another goal or get another hit or come out to that roar of the crowd. You'll just never play another game. And there was a big void in where I could put my energy, where I could put my anger, all these things that build up in you if you don't find an outlet. And that's part of the reason that I went to work right away, is that I needed an outlet. I needed something for my brain and for my emotions and for my energy. And it was the best thing I ever did.
What's it like for you now? You know, guys like Keith Tkachuk, now you're playing against his kids. I mean, I know how I feel interviewing the kids of players that I used to interview before. How does it make you feel?
Old. Well, I mean, I remember when those guys were born, and you know, Keith and I are very close friends, and our kids, along with like Dougie Waite's kids, you know, we played in St. Louis together, so our kids are all together there. They've spent Olympics and World Cups and all these things together, and yeah, it makes me feel old, but I'm really proud of those guys. They've become very, very good NHL players. It's awesome to see, and they're funny guys too. They're just like their dad, and the bigger than life personalities. It's pretty fun.